Welcome back to Attack on Titan, anime review episode number 13. This is reviewing the 42nd episode of the anime, Reply. This one, I looked it up. Now, I thought that with the last episode that aired, which was the fourth episode of the season, it stopped 58. I was wrong. It actually went to 60 and it stopped like partway into chapter 61. This one pretty much does the entirety of 61, does 62 as well, but also does some pages from chapter 53 as well. Yep. And the names one are Smoke Signal, Reply, and Sin. Sin is also the name of the chapter for next episode. So my guess is for this particular episode, they only adapted like one full chapter. One full chapter plus maybe like the first few pages of chapter 62 and like a few pages I probably missed for chapter 53. Mostly put, like I predicted for last week's episode, this one picks up right where the last one left off with Eren being put on trial for crimes he did not commit. And when he's of course pronounced guilty, of course he does also try to justify the existence of the Survey Corps. Even though that he is pointed out by his accusers that he is not being charged with that at all. That's not the reason why he's there, because the reason why he's there is because he's ignored frequent requests to turn over Eren Yeager for some reason. Now, this is something really kind of bothers me. Okay, according to Eren, he is pointing out, though, the purpose of Eren in the Survey Corps is to basically... he's part of the campaign to reclaim Wall Maria, which is basically which fell with the Titans back in the first arc of the series, which by the next arc they actually back to anyways. Yeah, he points out though that he is needed for taking back the Wall, and they don't think he's necessary, and so he's basically sentenced that for allegedly violating human charter for basically using being selfish. Excuse me, so this report commented, yeah, Wall Rose has been breached, even though it's completely true, and about to have to go and evacuate people, and then the judges are like, no, close the gates, we're not letting anybody in. And a lot of people are like, really? Why would you do that for? Because, well, here's kind of the thing. They do explain this really well, even the manga as well, is that not enough rations have built up since the last time Wall Rose was breached. Yeah, it has not been that long. It's been I'd say, a good couple months since Wall Rose was breached, and it had not been that long, despite the fact it's been good 40, 50 chapters since it was originally breached, back during the Battle of Trafalgar, which is one of the best arcs of the whole series, by the way. And he's like, no, and then he says, he's told to close the gates, and one of the guys there says, I'm a human of Wall Rose, and I refuse to follow your orders. And then, of course, Premier Zachary just bursts in the room with a bunch of his guys with rifles pointed directly at the guys, and the interior police are placed in custody, and Erwin is basically, all the charges against him were dismissed, and as for them, their fate is decided later. And of course, the news breaks out. And by the way, the king, yeah, bogus. Yeah. Of course, as someone who's read the manga, I already knew about this. Those who watch the anime, yeah, this is probably new to you. So yeah, a little surprising there. That if you notice though, when you see the whole time that the king is seen, he looks like he's sleeping with his eyes open, which is very weird. The fact that he does that, he says, "Oh yeah, is this time to eat?" So yeah, they're deposed, and that's that. And of course, they go and try to go find Eren and Historia, find out what they are. And then the episode ends very weirdly. Like, Eren looks like he's waking up someplace, seeing, of course, a flashback of his late mother. And then we see him, looks like, in the promotional stuff that was seen, where he looks like he's some ice cape. Yeah, he's actually in the same ice cape from the manga. And then the episode ends with Historia just walking in and wearing a completely different outfit than she was last seen in. Yeah, and that's where the episode ends. I gotta say, this is a real damn good episode. And I personally can't wait for next week's episode, Sin, where it's going to pick up right where this episode left off, and it'll probably do the same thing that the last few episodes of doing, where they do the entire chapter, and maybe a little bit of stuff that they missed in the previous chapter. This is what they do in past few episodes, where, they are progressing the story forward, and they're doing like kind of like one full chapter plus starting of the next chapter for the next episode, like maybe like the first like 2 or 3 pages. They probably ended there. That person, I guess, is what they did. Yeah, I think that as far as I can, they probably got through, I'd say, I'd say about half of the chapter. Yeah, I'd say they got about halfway through the chapter before the episode ends. Yeah, I don't think it's the opening 2 pages. I think it's more like halfway through the chapter before it ends. I think so. Let me look up here. Yeah, it's like a little halfway through the chapter that's when the episode ends. So they have like a chapter and a half for this episode, plus a few pages they probably missed from chapter 53, which is called Smoke Signal. Yep. Not much else to say. Really good episode. Alright, so that's particularly it for this particular review. My next video I'm planning on doing is My Hero Academia, where I'm going to read a new chapter of manga, watch the newest episode of the anime, and I'll do a review for it, okay? But until you see my next video, bye.